sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host. And why isn't that focusing? I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a live stream of the show, hey, that's easy. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you want to support the show. If you want to show off your support for the Second Amendment. If you want a safety bracelet. Go to Reaver.one/shop. You can get a Reaver of Common Sense t-shirt right away, or you can get one of many pro-Second Amendment t-shirts, I should say. Or you can get yourself a survival bracelet. Custom, handmade when you ordered. I now have it up where you can pick which colors you want. Doesn't get any easier than that. So go to Reaver.one/shop. That's REAVER.one/SHOP. I know I suck as a salesman. I know. Hey, I have said that since day one that I suck as a salesman. But you do want to get those pro Second Amendment t-shirts. I don't know how long I'm going to have them in stock. So, get them while you can. Has anybody noticed it's lingering, but it's not the main subject anymore, this controversy with Trump? It seems that they're kind of trying to let it fade. Well, there's a couple reasons to that. Hello, Kel. There's a couple reasons. But right now, there's 5 big lies that they're pushing, and we all know they're pushing lies. And if they thought that if they grabbed a gold star parents, everybody would keep their mouth shut and let the lies go, that we wouldn't attack, or not, I don't want to say attack, but we wouldn't respond back to gold star parents because, well, the right is very pro-military, and, we don't attack like the Democrats do. Huh. No sound? That's weird. That's the second time. Yesterday, someone told me that, too. Okay, cool. Scared me there, Kel, because I had someone yesterday tell me the same thing. At the beginning of the show, there was no sound. And I've had it where the program has a mute button that I use on my Wednesday night show. And don't forget, tonight is Wednesday night. And at 8 o'clock, it will be the Southside Much Show with the Jersey Boys, Jersey, Joe, and Crash. So what I do is I use the mute button because the way I have to tap Crash into the show. So a lot of times on Thursday, I forget that mute button's on when I start the show. And I've gone in like 15, 20 minutes of my show, and then either someone will come into the chat room, say there's no sound, or I'll see and I feel like a total blooming idiot. Yeah. So it's now I'm looking over my shoulder. I got the news running, and they're now running with Trump won't endorse McCain or Paul Ryan right now. Said he's not ready to endorse them. He's doing the same thing those two idiots did. In fact, Paul Ryan has yet to endorse Trump. So supposedly the RNC's mad at Trump and all that. It's more media spin and bullshit trying to make something that is not there. They couldn't make anything out of this controversy. There was 5 blatant lies that Khan told. And then there's other things that we will get into. Now, you know what? I was also listening to Dan the Butcher one night, Cal. And, you know, it's him and the unpleasant blind guy, Dave. And if one has to step away from the board, they'll hit the mute button. And they even said they'll come back and start talking and forget that the button's mute. So I'm not the only one. I thought I was just like unprofessional idiot that did it. But now I'm starting to feel better that I'm not the only one that does it. And I've done it quite a few times. That's what ticks me off. In fact, when I first started doing the show, I totally forgot the mute was on for like over a half hour of the show. And I'm talking and talking. So now, I mean, if you're watching the video, I'm always looking around at my different screens, and I'm looking at the programs, and I'm making sure that I'm getting the EQ lines going up and down as I talk. I feel a lot better. So, one of the lies, terror has nothing to do with Islam. Khan kind of really blew out his credibility on Sunday when he went on CNN and pushed the Obama lie of the terror has nothing to do with Islam. Everybody knows that statement is one of the dumbest comments ever made. The left cling to this belief because it is not prepared to confront the ongoing terror threat or to admit the failures of its multicultural policies. Listen, we could say they're not Islamic all we want. Hell, I could say I'm not fat. But guess what? I'm fat, people. I can say all I want. Doesn't make it true. Just as we could sit there and say that the Islamic State, ISIS, is not Islamic all we want. Doesn't make it true. It just tries to take the edge. I don't even know what they're trying to do because it's that stupid. So conservatives oppose all immigration, Mr. Khan told the DNC. If it was up to Donald Trump, my son never would have been in America. Now, Cal, I will admit, since I started this new medication and I quit smoking, I am fat. I wouldn't have said that before. I was a big guy, yes. I had a couple extra pounds, but now, and I can't pull the weight off. That's what's pissing me off the most. But I also found out this damn medication I'm on is side effect is weight gain. But yeah, he went on with the lie that Donald Trump wants to stop all immigration, and that's the biggest one. Even my liberal in-laws. They even were when they were down, we were talking about it, they even said they hate this lie. It makes the DNC look like idiots because everybody in there that has 2 brain cells knows that Trump has talked about illegal immigration, not all immigration. And it really does make the DNC look like a bunch of idiots pushing a lie. But of course, Khan went out there and he pushed how Donald Trump wants to stop all immigration. And the Khan family came to America in the 1980s when Islamic terrorists had barely begun to attack the U.S. Trump had presently different versions of his proposal, but the basic thrust is to allow legal immigrations while limiting it from terror-prone countries. The Khan family would still be allowed into the United States today. They're pushing a lie to try to discredit and not look at the actual problem. And what really pisses me off about this is Khan is protecting the people that killed his son. By what he's doing with Trump, he is protecting those same people that killed his son. That blows my mind. I don't expect the man to have huge hate or anything like that. But sticking up for the people that killed his son, the group of people that killed his son, he stood up there and tried to protect by pushing all these lies. It just blows my mind. Or the other one is, war is never the answer. Well, I hate to tell you, that's why it's called, it's an evil necessity. And even though the Khan didn't directly make that claim, you saw that within the crowd of the DNC with the reaction. I mean, Jesus Christ, they booed a Medal of Honor winner off of the stage. If you were a military type speaker, they booed you right off the stage. But of course, that is what Democrats do. They are anti-war, anti-military, anti-police organization. They have been for years. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it. The Democrats, well, you remember those hippies and protesters and those extremists of the 60s and 70s? Well, they are now the leader of the Democrat Party. That's what we have. They reject war and they project weakness. And then it went on. Another one he talked about. The Constitution does not mean what it says. The left like to reinterpret the text for its own purpose. Thus, Mr. Khan held a pocket constitutional law and mocked Trump's immigration policy. Have you ever read the U.S. Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy. In this document, look for the words liberty, equal protection of law. The later phrase only applies to citizens, not immigrants. Trump's policy might be inadvisable, which I don't agree with this article saying that it's inadvisable. I think it's very, very prevalent that we need to do that now. And it is constitutional. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say we cannot stop anybody from coming into this country. Religious, ethnicity, doesn't matter. If they're out to do us harm, we have the right to stop them, period. And if you think it says in the Constitution that we can't do that, or it is not what America has done and would do, You better look through history again and stop listening and parroting, because Democrats have done it multiple times, and they did it against Muslims before. They have stopped the influx of Muslims into this country. And the last one, real big lie that I've seen and I've been talking about, well, when Pat Smith was up there, and she was up speaking at the RNC, she got 70 seconds of network coverage, while Mr. Khan has been toted around on all the Sunday shows and all these other interviews. Mr. Khan hasn't gotten any death threats that I've heard of. I'm sure they'll invent some now. Pat Smith immediately got death threats, and one from a GQ writer. Chris Matthews was blathering on, lambasting her. And the left keep pretending the media is not biased. But let me tell you, if it was against the left, you better believe they would be crying every day of the week and twice on Sunday about the bias. When it's bias in their favor, oh, they love it. But if it was against them, they would make sure it ended immediately. What really the core truth, which Mr. Khan and his friends in the media wish to suppress, is that radical Islam is directly responsible for brutal terrorism that threatens Americans and innocent people around the world. This same brutal terrorism is the same one that killed his son. Rather than questioning Khan's silence on stage, Mrs. Khan, Trump would have done better to insist that he will be the best president American Muslims have ever had. You know what? I love all these Monday morning quarterbacks. I really love these Monday morning quarterbacks. I don't care that he pointed out that Mrs. Khan didn't speak up. And the excuse that they gave of she's still too distraught. 12 years later, and I've talked to a lot of people about this. I feel for her. And if she still can't speak, she needs to get counseling. But 12 years later, she should be able to speak about her son. And the problem is, Trump hit it right on the head. Muslim women are not allowed to speak out without permission of the husband. But the Democrats don't want that known, because that would blow the theory that they are for the women. Because they're not. They run around telling you that, and people with simple minds buy into it. And I think Mr. Trump handled all of this very well. And there's a lot of people that are playing Monday morning quarterback with it, including this article that I've been talking about. See, I don't mind him pointing that out, because he's putting out exactly what's going on. And I have seen a couple liberals now, it's thrown doubt into their mind. And don't go, please, people, don't go by these polls. I know I didn't get to it yesterday or the day before. And it's not because Trump's losing the polls. Truth is, he's actually winning those polls. a lot of these polls Trump is winning and they're twisting it to show Hillary. Why would they do that? Because everybody wants to side on the winning side. So it will sway over people to go, well, Hillary's winning. I guess it's no use. I'll just back Hillary now. Every poll I see online, every rally I see, Trump has 10 times more people than Hillary. Don't go by some of these photographs they're showing, because I just seen one of the photographs. They're like, look at this huge crowd. I think it was Oklahoma or just someplace she was yesterday or the day before. Look at this huge crowd that they have for Hillary Clinton. Well, there's a second picture a little bit taken a couple steps further back. And what it shows is there was only about, if 50 people were there, it's lucky. But when they did the tighter shot, the crowd filled up the whole frame. But when taking a couple steps back, there was only like 50 people, if that, there. She's now getting caught using blue screens. So there's crowds behind her when there's nobody there. And they can't even hire actors to go to these things anymore. That's how bad it is with her. So if you can't get actors to show up, to be paid to support her, how in the bloody blue blazes is she going to win the vote? So don't tell me she's winning these polls. And yes, they've gotten caught tweaking the results. Take out, you take the results for anybody that's undecided. You take out that result and you put it into Hillary's column. That's one way they've been doing it. The other is they've been very cautious who they call. But, as Trump has done, he tells the media, step back and take those wide shots. He's not using blue screens. He's not hiring actors. It's amazing. Amazing what they'll go through to win the election. How much cheating and people just keep electing these people. Now it's coming out Obama was hiring crowds to make it look like he had the larger support. But it didn't help that we had two idiots that stopped fighting along the way. Oh, it's getting that time again. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN, Red Nation Rising, Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. During this break, why don't you go to Reaver of Common Sense /shop and check out the t-shirts, survival bracelets, oh yeah, and the pocket constitutions. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. Do you want to support the show? Well, I hope you do. And if you want to support the show, just go to reaver.1/SHOP. Pick yourself up a Reaver of Common Sense t-shirt. They come in any size. Black, 100% cotton. $14.99 plus shipping. While you're there, pick yourself up a survival bracelet or pick up a pocket Constitution and Declaration of Independence. Make sure that you have it on you at all times. Just go to reaver.1/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. Oh, it's, man, we got a weird country. It's just, if you would have told me what the Democrats are doing now 10 years ago, I would have laughed and said there's no way they would do it. It would be the death of their party. I didn't think that Americans can be so gullible, so naive to fall for what's going on. I mean, you got Mr. Khan wrote extensively in the favor of Sharia law. The Muslim father of the slain American soldier, who was an attorney, had previously written in a law journal about Islamic law. He specifically wrote about the purity of the Quran and the Sunnah over other texts and interpretations. Now, Khan rose to fame, speaking at the DNC and attacking Donald Trump and pulling out the Constitution. Now, Khan wrote Judistic Classification of Islamic Law in the Houston Journal of International Law in 1983. In it, he breaks down different levels of Islamic law. Khan writes that the Quran and the Sunnah, which were both directly created by the Muslim prophet Muhammad, were the only sources in Muhammad's lifetime that were recognized as binding. The Sharia was completed during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad and in the Quran and Sunnah. This brings up an important fact, which is generally overlooked, that the inevitable and basic rule of Islamic law are only those prescribed in the Quran and the Sunnah, which are few and limited. Khan continues to write all other judicial works, which have been written during more than 13 centuries, are very rich and indispensable, but they must always be subordinate to the Sharia and open to reconsideration by all Muslims. That right there makes him ineligible for citizenship in the United States. He is saying that that is above the Constitution and speaking against the Constitution and our binding laws, and therefore it is in direct conflict of immigration laws. This man is not a patriot. This man does not care about the Constitution. He uses it to his advantage when it suits his needs. Otherwise, it's thrown to the side and ignored. This is not attacking his son. His son gave one of the greatest sacrifices you can give to your country. He served his country. He served his platoon. He served his men well. But those sacrifices does not mean his father is immune from any discussions or bringing out the facts that he is against everything that is the United States. There's many people where the father and son totally disagree on whether being patriotic or not. Whether it's being patriotic to the Islamic State. I'm sure there's fathers that don't like that their sons are part of ISIS. And I'm pretty sure there's some sons that don't care their fathers are part of ISIS. I'm sure there's American fathers that don't want their sons to go fight for our country. I'm pretty sure there's some sons that don't like that their father gave their lives for the country. That doesn't mean you can't question some of the motives when those motives are in question. If you want to be treated with high standards, and you want all the treatment of a Gold Star family, and you want to be treated with the high respect that your son is treated with, then you need to act like a Gold Star family and act like the sacrifices that your son gave. I know that's not a popular sentiment, but your son is the one that gave his life. And it sucks you lost your son, and I'm sorry. But to stand up and push lies and think that you can attack a man and not have anything said back, that's a sad state in this country. And more that's coming out, more and more that's coming out that Mr. Khan had connections to Hillary, has connections to the Muslim Brotherhood, and he was picked out not because of his patriotism, because he possibly been paid off. Hang on, I'm just checking. These polls are just mind-boggling. Because these are the same polls that also said at certain times Trump was behind, but he kept winning these races. These polls have not been very accurate. We know the Democrat polls have not been accurate. They had Bernie Sanders ahead, and, well, Hillary won. But I guess Mr. Khan is in a little bit of a panic mode now. And why I say that is because the website, the law firm website that specializes in Muslim immigration, that everybody was linking him and Hillary together, has been deleted. They've removed it. They're trying to delete, the proof that was there. Problem is, you can't delete. If it's been on the internet, you can't delete it. The Muslim Gold Star father that Democrats and their allies media-wide have been using to hammer GOP presidential nominee Donald J. Trump has deleted his law firm's website from the internet. This development is significant, as his website proved. As Breitbart Breitbart News and others have reported that he financially benefits from unfettered pay-to-play Muslim migration into America. A snapshot of his now deleted website, as captured by the Wayback Machine, which takes snapshots archiving various websites on the internet, shows that as a lawyer he engaged in procurement of EB-5 immigration visas and other related immigration services. The website is completely removed from the internet and instead directs visitors to the URL at which it once was to a page parking the URL run by GoDaddy. The EB-5 program, which helps wealthy foreigners, usually from the Middle East, essentially buy their way into America, is fraught with corruption. U.S. Senate, holy cow, I can't speak today. Judiciary Committee Chairman Senator Chuck Grassley has detailed such corruptions over the past several months, and in February issued a blistering statement about it. Maybe it is only here on Capitol Hill, on this island surrounded by reality, that we can choose to plug our ears and refuse to listen to commonly accepted facts. The Government Accountability Office, the media, industrial experts, member of Congress, and federal agency officials have concurred that the program is a serious problem with serious vulnerabilities. Allow me to mention a few of the flaws. Grassley's statement even noted that the program Khan celebrated on his website has proposed national security risk. There are also classified reports that detail national security, fraud, and abuse. Our committee has received numerous briefings and classified documents to show this side of the story. Grassley said in early February 2016 statement, the enforcement arm of the Department of Homeland Security wrote an internal memo that raises significant concerns about the program. One section of the memo outlines concerns that it could be used by Iranian operatives to infiltrate the United States. The memo identifies 7 main areas of program vulnerability, including the export of sensitive technology, economic espionage used by foreign government agents and terrorists, investment fraud, illicit finance, and money laundering. Yeah. It just... And this is the man that we're supposed to be crying over because Trump responded back to his attack. This is the man that the media is holding up. People, this is the stuff that we need to stop. Hillary Rotten Clinton is not going to stop this. This man does not care about who he brings into the country as long as he gets his money. And the more I read about this stuff, the more it scares the shit out of me, because if Hillary Rotten Clinton gets in, we're screwed, people. She just got done saying and admitting she's going to be raising the taxes on the middle class. I know they keep saying they're only going to raise taxes on the 1%. That's not going to pay for their programs. We've seen it with Obamacare. Remember, it was not going to cost us. In fact, it was going to save us money. And then when we start looking at it, the free health care, it's costing us, what, double? Yeah, some people, a small percentage of people are saving money. Great. But a majority of the country is getting screwed over and can't even afford health care now. And you want to give away more stuff. We're going so far in debt. The Democrats are running us into the ground to be a third world nation. And these Democrat supporters can't see, don't want to see, or don't care. It scares me what will happen if Hillary wins. I sit there, and if she wins, I'm wondering if it would be smart if we state of Florida goes along with Texas to leave the United States, because it's going to be bad. She's going to remove Second Amendment rights. She's going to be taxing the hell out of everybody. They're going to be taxing us into the poorhouse. It's going to be that top 1%, and the rest of us are going to be poor. They're going to turn us into Venezuela. And it scares the crap out of me. I'm trying to keep. Hold on one second. I want a vacation. No, I didn't. I worry. But I said it the other day. We got to start a revolution. Let's start a big revolution. And it's going to culminate, and we're going to attack. Hang on. I don't want to give the wrong date. November 8th. Let that be our day of freedom. Let that be the day that we win the revolution. Start and win the revolution in one day. That's all it takes. People get out and vote in droves. I mean, I don't want to tell people how to vote. I don't like that. But if you want to see this country continue along the path of self-destruction, stay home or vote for Hillary. If you want to see this country get back on track and start turning the ship around from the hell it's gone through the last 8 years, then you need to get out in a revolutionary style and vote Trump. And if you still have reservations against him, understandable. Not going to argue the points. But understand this. It is better to have him in office than Hillary Clinton. And what you do is you vote a Congress that is going to stand up to the president and make sure the president stays in check. Not the Congress we have now that has let a president for 7.5 years just do whatever the hell he wants. Make sure you have a Congress that is willing to stand up. Vote them into office as well. Let's get this country back to what it was, back to the government doing its job, and not letting a president do whatever it wants, a Supreme Court doing whatever it wants, writing law. There's the revolution. Now it's coming out that we sent $400 million cash on a plane to Iran. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely. And we sit back and allow all this to happen. Start the revolution, be a part of it, and it doesn't have to be a violent revolution. Go volunteer for the RNC. Go out there to knock on doors every day. We don't need everybody, running these parties. And I mean party, not party as in group. But go there. Volunteer. Do something. Don't just sit on your ass on a computer like fat ass me. I can't do certain things, but this is how I am doing the revolution. Get out there. Spread the word. Overcome the lies that are being spread about Trump. Overcome all the liberal bullshit. Become part of the revolution. We're entering dangerous times right now, people. And it's not an exaggeration. Let's see, where were you at? I'm just... Always question. That's the other thing. I don't want everybody to question. Anytime that Democrats do something, you need to look to see what their angle is. The RNC, all politicians are lying. I know that, but the DNC, nothing is what it seems when they do something. Especially if they're doing something saying that they're being pro-military. I don't think I've ever seen them pro-military in a long, long time. So whenever they come out as being pro-military, it immediately puts into question. Well, it's almost that time. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Networks, Red Nation Rising, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes. And don't forget, during the break, go to reaver.one/shop and check out the shirts. Check out the survival bracelets. Check out the pocket constitutions. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. And do you want to support the show? Do you want to show that you're a proud supporter of the Reaver of Common Sense show? Go to reaver.1/shop. Pick up your Reaver of Common Sense t-shirt. While you're there, take a look at the Pro Second Amendment t-shirts, the survival bracelets that are custom handmade to order, and get your pocket Constitution and Declaration of Independence book. I suck as a salesman, don't I? I know I do. But either way, go to reaver.1/shop. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not, and I've never been good to try to. I can't even try to sell myself as a salesman. So during the break, number one, we got the Ernest is out there trying to lie his way out of that. We paid $400 million ransom note to Iran to free the hostages. And you know what? I wouldn't doubt that we did. I would not doubt it, because this scumbag of a president does what he wants. So, of course, they're going to lie about it, try to cover it up, because, well, where did he get the money? The president just can't spend money as he sees fit. But this one has ridiculous. So, and the other big thing Fox keeps going over and over and over and over again is that the RNC is up in arms again with Trump. I see more of these articles than I care to remember. Work on that. My knife's not working that great. It's not locking in place. One of those days. But yeah, they keep going over because Trump has not endorsed Senator John McCain or Representative Paul Ryan. Well, surprise, they have not endorsed him either. And they have said, well, they're not ready to endorse him. And that was his response back. So they're up in arms about Trump for doing the exact fucking thing that they did to him. I think this more is media-driven than actually is an issue within the RNC. And yes, it would not put past Fox, because I don't trust them either. I never have. They are a news agency. They are a news agency that just needs ratings. I've known that. I've said that all along. So but now Rupert Murdoch, who is an open borders globalist, is actively out attacking Trump. He did it with, the New York Post or New York Times, one of the New York papers Rupert Murdoch owns, and he's had naked pictures of Melania Trump posted. I didn't see this shit when Obama was running, but guess what? His mother posed naked for several pictures. We didn't see those plastered all over the media, did we? They're trying to attack Trump, these globalists, because they're in fear. They've been hedging their bets that they'll make their money through globalism. Donald Trump is going to stop it and go back to being a nationalist. He's going to go back to the country first. So these pieces of shit, non-American motherfuckers are going to lose money, so they're trying to attack Trump. And yes, Rupert Murdoch is not a U.S. citizen. He is a goddamn Brit. Not that I have a problem against British. But you know what? How many of these foreigners are the ones that are interfering in our elections and pushing towards globalism? Yeah, most of them aren't natural-born U.S. citizens. George Soros. It just... And I've said it for years. Country first. And the RNC, this is... And if the RNC is getting their panties in a wad over this, that Donald Trump hasn't endorsed two people that haven't endorsed him, well, then they're dumber than I thought they were. Damn it, I just realized I was cussing along that. Dang it. Mail call. It's... I don't know. Father of Benghazi hero Tyrone Woods, the father of Benghazi hero Tyrone Woods, has come out and endorsed Donald Trump. Charles Woods, the father of Tyrone Woods, the former Navy SEAL killed at Benghazi, Libya, the morning of September 12, 2012, along with 3 other Americans, endorsed Donald J. Trump for president. I support Donald Trump, and the main reason is national security as well as the economy are the 2 most important issues that voters are going to have to decide upon this November, I should say. Said Woods, who is a retired lawyer and administrative law judge. His son was a CIA contractor hired to provide security for American personnel and facilities in Benghazi. The other Americans killed, Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens, State Department IT Specialist Sean Smith. And remember, Sean Smith, as he was the IT person, he was helping Chris Stevens when he lost his life. And former Navy SEAL Glenn Doherty, who was also a CIA contractor but assigned to Tripoli. Doherty led a team from Tripoli to assist the personnel at Benghazi, who were defending against multiple attacks, first to the American diplomatic compound, where Stevens and Smith were killed, and then at the CIA annex less than 2 miles away. Woods and Doherty were killed in the same mortar attack upon their rooftop position after 8 hours of combat. Trump said he was honored to receive the endorsement from Woods. Tyrone Woods is an American hero, and his father is a tremendous person whom I have great respect for. His sport is so important to me. Together we are going to defeat Hillary in November and make America safe again. In January, Woods challenged Trump's opponent, Hillary Rotten Clinton, to take a lie detector test after the former First Lady denied that she had told Woods and other relatives of those killed at Benghazi that the attack was associated with a protest against a YouTube video that dealt with the life of Prophet Muhammad. It's not just Pat Smith. There is multiple other families. And I think the only one that says that is backing Hillary Rotten Clinton's comments is the Stevens family. Chris Stevens' family. And maybe she was smart enough not to give that lie to them. I don't know. But there's too many families, and what she said on the news, and it's on videotape, is that it was because of a video. She never talked about it being terrorism. They were covering the incident up for Obama's re-election. Anybody with a brain can see that is why they pushed that lie so hard. It just, I can't believe there's actually people that still question that. And she still comes out and she calls the families liars. She's done it time and time again, and she tries to spin it like, oh, no, I didn't do that. If you went to Hillary, you would think she's never done a thing wrong in her life. In fact, she says she's never lied in her life. Please. I don't. What are we going to do? Let me see something. Let me see if I can pull this up to play. I know the audio might be a little off when I go and do it, but let's see what I can do. Give me 1 second. Pulling up something that last minute. Where did that video go? And if you go to my Jersey Joe website, you could see the pocket constitutions that I have for sale. And if you're not on Jersey Joe's Facebook page, you can find it at Jersey Joe Talks with an S. That's Jersey Joe Talks. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram underneath the Jersey Joe Talks. Where is it? All right. Here's the article. Let's see if it's the video I need. Just waiting for everything to load up. And I know those that are watching the live feed, live broadcast, it probably just went a little wonky on me because I'm pulling something up on that computer. But hang on, let me...
One reason that people question your account, and this gets to the important question of trust, is because that day at Andrews, you never talked about terrorism. You talked about the video.
We've seen the heavy assault on our post in Benghazi that took the lives of those brave men. We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
No, that's not fair. If you go back and read everything that I said that day, I quoted people who talked about it being terrorism. I had already said it was terrorism. There was no doubt it was terrorism. I think there has been a confusion in the minds of some, and
you heard her answer that she said, it was terror, but that clip that was played before is from that day. I think it's Andrews Air Force Base, when the bodies were brought home and the caskets were in front of her, and she lied over those caskets. She lied right over the dead and said it was about a video. And now she's sitting there lying about it as if it's not on video. That's what I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can sit there and lie when it's right there in front of your face, the video.
exploiting that confusion for the advantage of
others. I have a quote
others.
here where you say...
But look at everything I said, because, and this goes back to all the investigations that were carried out. There were riots, there were protests, there were efforts to breach our embassies.
Yeah, but not in Benghazi. That wasn't...
What she's talking about, in Egypt, there was a protest earlier in the day in Egypt. It got a little rowdy, but it was not an attack. There was no protest ever at Benghazi. It was a direct attack. And they tried pushing that it was a protest gone wrong because of Obama's re-election. And now she's lying about it again for her election.
What that was about.
No, but I'm just telling you, we were looking at the whole world. The whole world was aflame.
Because that day at Andrews, you never talked about terrorism.
I want to replay this. I want to play her at Andrews.
On our post in Benghazi that took the lives of those brave men. We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with. An awful internet video that we had nothing to do with. Embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
That's all she said that day. And now it's coming back to bite her in the ass, and she is lying outright to the American people about it. And there's actually Democrats that believe her. They don't go to the video and listen to it. They say it's propaganda. Hillary Clinton's voice is propaganda that's being used against her because that's not what she said. That is how stupid these Democrats have gotten. Because we watched it with Obama. It's... What are they doing? Putting mind control crap in these Democrats' Cocoa Puffs? Friggin' going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Democrats. The video is there showing what she said. I just can't believe that we're having this discussion over and over again, and there's people that still deny it. But I'm glad to see Tyrone Woods is not buying into the bullshit. We know Pat Smith isn't buying into the bullshit. And I feel sorry for that woman. Not only did she lose her son, she has Hillary calling her a liar. Outright liar. That is what Hillary is saying. But no media, mainstream, lamestream media, is calling them out on their bullshit. They talk about Trump responding to an attack from Khan, but they're not doing anything about Hillary calling Pat Smith the liar. They're not doing anything about a GQ writer calling for the death of Pat Smith. They're not calling out Chris Matthews for attacking Pat Smith. No, there's none of that. That's all quiet. That's okay. It's I don't know. And people still what are we going to do? I mean, this is what we're going to have definitely for 4 more years if this vile, disgusting, evil person is elected into office. And people will cheer it. They've cheered it the last 7.5 years. I'm glad to see there's still some people with sanity. Maybe we need to split the country up and move some people around and let these idiots, Democrats, have the North and we'll take the South. I don't know. It wouldn't be too long if we did something like that. It wouldn't be too long before they'd be begging for help. Their economy would crash. They'd be invaded. They would have no military support. And this shit of everybody, well, he's unfit to be president. He's disqualified. No, he's disqualified. He's fuck off with all of it. It is so tiresome with it. You do not get to, Obama doesn't, Hillary doesn't, Trump doesn't get to say who's fit or unfit, who qualified or unqualified. The only qualifications for president are over the age of 35, a U.S. natural-born citizen, and a resident of the United States for the past 14 years. Period. Done. That's it. This other is just rhetoric bullshit, and it's tiresome. And what sucks, even after this election is over with, it's not going to calm down. No matter which one gets voted in, it's not going to calm down. It's only going to get worse. And I don't know where we're going in this country, but it worries me. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes. And while we're on this break, why don't you go to reaver.one/shop and check out the t-shirts. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Much Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to support the show, you want to support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. We have t-shirts. We have show t-shirts. We have pro-Second Amendment t-shirts. We have smart-ass t-shirts. We have the Thin Blue Line t-shirt. We have survival bracelets. And for those that don't know what a survival bracelet is, it is a bracelet that is made of paracord. Paracord is the cord that's used for parachutes. It can take up to 550 pounds. And you get a minimum of 8 foot. Basically, the way it correlates for the one braid that I'm doing for these is for every 1 inch of the bracelet, it's equal to 1 foot. So if you have a 9-inch bracelet, you have roughly 9 feet of cordage to use. And it's not hard to unravel these, and that's what they're there for. In case of emergency, you always have some kind of rope with you to use in an emergency. I also have the Pocket, Constitution, and Declaration of Independence for sale. Just go to reaver.one/shop. All right, what do we got for the last segment? I like this one. NBC has quietly scrubbed the discredited smear of Bill Clinton rape accuser. Following the receipt of a retraction demand, NBC News has quietly edited the internet edition of a segment that aired on the highly rated Today Show, in which anchor Andrea Mitchell claimed Miss Broderick's rape accusation against Bill Clinton has been, quote-unquote, discredited. After receiving the legal letter penned by Broderick's attorney and son, Kevin L. Hicks, NBC removed the word discredited from the network's internet version of Mitchell's video report. Broderick and Hickey told this reporter. However, the NBC did not make any indications of the edit in the video or on the webpage that hosted it. Nor did NBC fulfill Broderick's request, which she says was communicated in the letter for an apology from Mitchell on the Today Show. And I cannot read, I cannot talk, I am having just a tongue twister day. And real quick, Hell, why are they refuting your cancellation claim? And it's insurance. I hate insurance companies. I hate them. They're nothing but a scam. Nothing more. And let me tell you, that reminds me. So I've talked about it that I had a claim for insurance on my roof. I have a small hole in my roof in my garage. And because of certain things, had to go into a court battle, they have to replace my whole roof. And I had to get what's called a public adjuster involved in it. And they get a small fee of whatever I recover. So when the check was cut by the insurance company, the attorney called me up and said it has to go to the public adjuster, and I have to send a check to cover the amount. And I told him, I said, I don't have that kind of money laying around. No, they'll hold the check for you until everything gets endorsed and cleared. Then they'll put it in. Okay, so I contacted and they said, yeah, they'll hold it. So on top of it, I had to send this check also to my mortgage to get endorsed. Now, this is going back to June. I called my mortgage up and asked, what do I need to send in so I can get it endorsed to get it back? And they told me what I need to send in, and I sent it in. Next thing I know, I get the check back, and it's not endorsed. Now they're telling me I have to send even more stuff. I have to send in more stuff, and that they're going to dole out the money. And, well, actually, they're going to give 50%, and they're going to hold on to the other 50%. So I called up and complained, and they said, yes, all right, we made a mistake. We're going to release 95% of it to you immediately. And we're going to next day the check. That was on July 1st. Several phone calls later, now they want other stuff sent to me, and they're going to issue the check to the public adjuster. Now, this whole time I've called the public adjuster and let her know, and it's the owners. I talked to one of the owners, and she says she understands, she deals with this all the time, no problem whatsoever. Then a couple weeks ago, she put the check in, and it bounced. And then I hear, you never called me. And no, I do call you. Okay, that got settled. Waiting on my mortgage to get off their ass. And last night I get a phone call from this public adjuster, and it's the people's choice. Don't ever deal with this scumbag company. Because they called up telling me again that I never talked to them to let them know what's going on, when every time I have any bit of information, I have called, apologizing and all that about what my mortgage is doing. And I've got told every time they understand, they deal with this all the time. It's not a big deal. But they called last night. I think it's Christine, her name is. Calls up, tells me I have not called them at all since day one. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what are you talking? I call. You don't need to get uppity and loud with me. I'm like, I'm not. If you're going to do that, I'm going to just disconnect. I'm like, I'm not being aggressive towards you. It's kind of how I talk. Well, you haven't contacted. We're putting the check in Friday. I said, bullshit. I've called you. I let you know that my mortgage. Well, when are they sending it? I don't know. I don't control that. I am not my goddamn mortgage. So we're just going back and forth. And I'm like, listen, I'm doing everything I can. It's not my fault that the mortgage is now changing its tune. Well, you don't have to get uppity. If you're going to get like this, I'm just going to hang up. I'm like, I'm not getting it, click. And now she doesn't have the balls to answer the phone again, and I'll be calling again right after the show. She doesn't have the balls. I do speak up sometimes because I do have hearing issues. And sometimes I speak louder than I realize I am. It's something that goes along with being hard of hearing. But I have called this company the whole time through. This woman has been a nasty SOB since day one. And I didn't pick this company. And I will let the roofing company know about this public adjuster. because I'm about to tell the roofing company to kiss off. I'll find another roofing company, because if that's the type of people you deal with, I don't want to deal with you. It is. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it's like the People's Choice Public Adjuster. Fucking run from that company. Run from them. They're liars. I understand they want their money, but as I said, they know it's beyond my control what my mortgage is doing. I have no control over it. And if that woman is not smart enough to take notes and write down when I call in, that is their problem, not mine. Don't call up accusing me of anything. So now I got to go pay $20 for a stop payment check. It just pisses me off. And I told her I was going to put a stop payment. She can just screw off. Now that it has nothing to do with what's new and going on. But I had to get that off my chest. And that's it. So many of these companies and new age agents and the insurances, they think they can do whatever the hell they want, and it's fuck the people. I've had shit luck with insurance. Seriously, shit luck with insurance. I always hear about people, they just told me go ahead and they'll pay for everything. When I injured myself at work with my knee and I needed a surgery, I had to go through courts to get it approved. Because as I was told by the agent, I'm not worth the money that it would cost. It was cheaper for them to, drag the case on and then let it expire, and then I would have to worry about the knee surgery. When I injured my back on the ambulance, they tried anything and everything. They tried going after me for fraud because I forgot about a car accident I had 10 years before where I was not injured, and my back was spasming, so I went to the hospital to get checked out. And I was sent home just as back spasms from an accident. And that's a common incident that happens in accidents. You can get back spasms. I never had a problem for 10 years with it. But oh my God, you committed fraud. You didn't tell us. I forgot. Well, and I love the day we were going over depositions and they were like, well, how much money did you win in that case? What case? Well, you sued over it, didn't you? No, I didn't. And they just stopped and looked at me and went, what? I said I had no injuries. There was nothing to sue over. Oh, no, you had to sue. I said, no, in state of New Jersey over a car accident, you have to have injuries for you to sue. I had no injuries. And I was like, yeah, my lawyer is my father-in-law, so I'm pretty sure if there was a case, he would have gone after it. And he didn't. He said there was no case for me. I had no injuries. Oh, they got pissed off and grumbled, and yeah, I got put back on unemployment or workers' comp, I should say. They didn't like it. Everything. This roof. By law, they have to replace the whole roof. And, of course, they didn't want to do that with me. Had to go through court. And I had to get this damn company, the TPC, the People's Choice Public Adjuster, involved. That woman has been a nightmare since day one. Day one, a nightmare. Don't know what. Wow, Fox is talking on questions on whether mainstream media is playing down coverage of Clinton scandals. No shit, Sherlock. Are they playing down? They're hardly even discussing. And if this was Donald Trump, it would be 24/7 news coverage. This is CNN, and we are on our 4,568 hour discussing Donald Trump's stiffing so-and-so scandal. They've made up scandals to talk about Donald Trump, while the whole time Clinton, and that's why I do agree, it is the Clinton News Network, CNN. You got scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. And Democrats go, propaganda. No, that's just right-wing propaganda to smear Clinton. Just like the countless propaganda scandals that are attacking Obama. They are all made-up scandals. That's what I was told. Da-da-da. And that's what the left sounds like. Yeah, Clinton told me she told the truth, though. She told the truth. Jesus Christ. She barks like a dog. Does that mean she's a dog now? Ay. Where's that bit? So, Twitter on Red Nation Rising. I'm going to get my wife. There's a meme up, and it's like Cowboys showing 5 Super Bowl rings, Giants 4, Redskins 3, and the Eagles, it has those candy rings. Yeah, and I'm going to get my wife. I'm going to get her. Oh, that little. Let's see, where did it go? But on Red Nation Rising, they had made a comment about what the other day was like Mutt Day or something like that, and they were playing a clip of Hillary barking, and I just typed in "Who let the dogs out?" The guy's like, he couldn't get it out the rest of the day, so he made this little clip, and if I can get to it. Oh, and remember, the 4 Ds of the Democrats: divide, distract, deflect, and demonize. Where is it? Maybe I have to go to Twitter. Oh, I can't believe I'm on all these social medias. I would never, if it wasn't for the show, I would never be on this stuff. It's... Come on. It's like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes. Internet is slow. Sorry for the delay in this. Trust me, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to like this. It's funny as anything. But, I mean, I'm running video, radio, and then trying to look stuff up at the same time. It's I got to admit, that's a lot of texting on my internet. Now I'm not going to be able to find it. Now I'm going to spend all day looking for this. Here it is. And we want to take that off. The dogs out! Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? I mean, who in their right mind thought it would be good to have Hillary Clinton bark like that? Who in the right mind goes, oh, that'd be a good thing. We're going to have you bark like a dog. Oh, hopefully maybe they need to have that person write more speeches because it just shows the idiocy of the left. Oh, God, what is this? All right, I don't know what this is, but it looks good.
What I was suggesting, you are absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that has not
Christian
come
faith.
My Christian faith.
I forgot about that one. During an interview with Obama, as you heard, he has not questioned my Muslim faith. And the reporter's like, don't you mean Christian? He's like, oh, yeah, hasn't questioned me about my Christian faith. Listen, I'm not the only one. And I've talked to him recently, and remember years ago, and this was before Obama even ran for president. He was still a senator. He was walking out of a church where he had just gotten baptized. And the reporter asked him, why was he getting baptized? And he turned around and he said, because this country will never vote for a Muslim president. Now, I found that clip a couple years ago. I never saved it. And now it has disappeared. It seems to be wiped clean of the internet. And I said, I'm not the only one who remembers that. I was watching it during EMS, one of the Saturday or Sunday shifts. It was a Sunday shift. And we were watching it. It was shortly after 9/11. It wasn't long after 9/11. Maybe a year or two after. And it was just, yeah, that man would never win for president. Barack Hussein Obama. There's no way he could win for president after what just happened on 9/11. God, was I wrong. God, I didn't think that the American people were that goddamn stupid. But here we are, almost 8 years later, and the death of America is almost there. And I don't know. It's... And if America goes down and dies, it affects all the other countries. Because so many countries have needed our strength, have followed our lead, and it made them better countries. Without the United States, a lot of evil happens in this world. Because who's going to stand up? Not Russia. Russia, they're one of the leading causes of issues. Middle East? No. France? Hell no. First German that comes walking into the country, knocks on the door, they're going to give up the country again. Sorry, Britain is not a force that it once was. But how do you get rid of the United States? You destroy its patriotism. You destroy it from the inside. How do you get to go to this globalization? You destroy patriotism. And I've been saying that since shortly after Obama got elected, and I realized it was the biggest mistake this country ever did. I started realizing how they're attacking patriotism. I didn't understand the end game back then, but I saw the destroying patriotism back then. We're in trouble, folks. We got to keep fighting, and Hillary's just going to be a continuation of the disaster that's called Obama. And we got to change course. We got to. I don't want to see this country done with. Don't forget, tonight, 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on SHR Media. You can catch the Southside Much Show with its hosts, Jersey Joe and Crash. But until tomorrow, I'll talk to you at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Have a good day. Damn, buttons. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.